Hello, I'm Fencka and welcome to my new Civilization 5 Let's Play. As usual for my Let's Plays, the first part is only an introduction of the Let's Play. So even though we'll play a few turns in this part, there won't be like anything too crazy. I just want to start my capital. There are some specifics for my capital that I need, so I'm going to talk about that. But the real gameplay will start in the next part. The reason why I'm doing this introduction video is that I am using some quite specific settings for Civ 5, and probably not everyone is going to like them. I'm using or I'm playing on very large maps. Deity difficulty on marathon pace is the most important thing, so there is not that much action often in my games, though here I would like to be a bit more aggressive, but still, if you really play like the military style where there are wars all the time, uh, this Let's Play may not be for you, but well, you can just check this introduction and then decide if it's maybe interesting or not. Also, if you watched my previous C5 Let's Play, it's been a while, but it's possible that some of you guys have seen that. You kind of know what to expect. It's going to be similar, just I'm going to take it to another level, large map. Basically the largest map that I've seen for C5, and the plan is to try to conquer the world. So first I'm going to introduce mods that I'm going to be using for this. Quite a few mods. This whole package except the last mod. This is a part of the community balance patch. I'll be using all that is in the package. This changes the game a lot. It almost feels like a different game. Civs have different specials. Tag tree was changed. Social policies are different. So it's the Civ 5 style, but the numbers inside are basically a different game. It took me a while to get used to the patch, but I started to like it, and now I maybe like it even more than the unmodded game. So people who created this did a really good job, at least when it comes to me. I really like it. The reason why I'm showing this here you can see versions of all these patches, and you can see that some of them are changing quite quickly. So here you can chance to see which versions of these mods I'll be using. The only mod that is not part of the community patch is yet not another Earth Maps pack. I've been experimenting with this mod basically since the vanilla Civ 5, before any expansions came out, or well, basically since this mod was released. This adds some new maps to the game, and what I am interested in is the giant Earth map. It's a pretty good representation of Earth, and I want to see if I can basically conquer the world on the deity difficulty, and that's the challenge here. Playing on deity with the maximum amount of civs, and see how long we can stay in the game, and if it's maybe possible to even win. Without the community patch, I tried, and the map is just way too large, and there are always some cities that snowballed out of control. I had no chance to do anything about that, and then it wasn't able to for me to catch up with them. Here, the community patch changes the deity settings a bit, so the AIs don't have such strong starts, but then they are getting bigger and bigger advantages later in the game. So you have to keep up or try to keep up with them all the time. It's actually possible to get ahead early, even. But then later in the game, it's actually a real challenge to keep up with them and win the game. I like this a lot more than the vanilla style of deity, where it's about can I catch up with everyone, and once I can do that, once I'm on par with them, from then it's basically game over. It's only about can I catch up or not. Here I have to really keep trying all the time, and the end game, or for me, the game just doesn't end around Renaissance era with these settings, because that's where it usually ended for me in the vanilla version. There, I knew if I was able to catch up or not, and then I most of the time didn't have a reason to play anymore. So these are the mods. So let's move on, because there are some other settings I want to go through. Come on. You can see that it takes a while to load for all the mods. It's how much it's actually changed in the game. Single player custom game. Here we're gonna load those maps. So what we are going to do, we're gonna play as Ethiopia. I'll go through our special abilities once we started the game. On the loading screen, we'll be able to go through that. City states, I'm not going to be using 41 here, I'm going to be using 22. I decided on this number, so there is like the ratio 1 to 1 shifts to city states. I'm using true starting locations for city states, so with 41, half of them probably wouldn't spawn anyway. And some places would be ridiculously crowded, like for example Europe. So with these settings, it's a bit better. Still, probably some city-states one spawn. It can happen with this, but well, shouldn't be too many. Most city-states should be in the game. If I wanted to guarantee that everything is going to spawn, I would have to change the placement and separation, and I don't want to do that. Uh, what else? Giant Earth, you can see the size of the map. It's really, really giant. Then Deity, Marathon, Ancient Era, the usual settings that I'm using. Here is the placement, so through starting locations, I want to the map to be close representation of the world, so all safe starting where they're supposed to be. Same for city states, and then I want to try to conquer the world. Um, Separation means the minimum distance between cities, so I keep this on 3 tiles. That's normal for a save. Resources sparse. I've been experimenting with these settings. There is uh, something called Monopoly with these mods, and that means if you control half of the resource that's on the map, you get some extra bonuses from it. And I don't want this to be too easy to achieve. And what I found out is on Spires, it's actually pretty hard to achieve that. So that's why I'm taking that, and I also don't want the resources to be too common. So this is the ideal setting. I was even trying poor, and wouldn't be that bad, except on poor, it's really easy to get Monopoly, and some of those are pretty damn overpowered, I'd say. So I decided to go with Spires, where getting a Monopoly, you have to really try, unless you get very lucky and get like the specific resource or luxury on your starting location. I don't think that I've seen that, so hopefully we won't get that. What else? Victory types, all of them available, and then from advanced options, there are quite a few things available, but what I'm using, enabling, I have the event system enabled, so throughout the game there'll be random events popping up. It just gives like another layer that we can work with. I kind of like that. Sometimes it's pretty strong, but there are also some negative events that can happen that are quite annoying. So yeah, we'll go with that. I have all the good, neutral, and bad events available. It's possible to somewhere turn some of them here. No good events, no neutral events. It's possible to turn this on, no bad events. I have everything available. Then I have research agreements, of course. No ancient ruins. On this map, ancient ruins are just not fair. There are some civilizations that can spawn alone, like on a continent, especially in Americas, that can happen, but also like China, Mongolia can spawn miles away from anyone else, and then they get ridiculous amounts of goodie huts for themselves. And not just AIs, also for us, we will be spawning in the center of Africa, and it's possible that nothing is going to spawn like to the south from us. So there's only Zulus can spawn in southern Africa, and therefore it's very likely that we would get like half of continent worth of goodie huts just for ourselves. I don't want that. I want everyone to have to have the same like progress, no free tags, no free culture. Just feels too unfair. So that's ruins. Then we have quick movement, quick combat, raging barbarians for some extra fun, and transparent diplomacy. This is just the quality of life thing that I can see how much do I have to pay or how much I can get for my trades, and I don't have to try if I can get 605 or 609. I just see the value and just speed things up. So these are the settings I'm going to be using that I was able to prepare, but there is one thing I couldn't prepare. There is one specific thing that I can't have on the map, so I had to like prepare the game ahead. So we're going to load the game, and this thing is I can't have Mombasa on the map. It's starting on a place where I want to start my capital, so that's the reason why I had to prepare the game ahead. So I know that Mombasa is not there where I want to go. Uh, so we can load the game, and because it takes a while to load the game with the size of the map and the amount of saves, we can go through our specials here. Solomonic Wisdom. When we complete the policy branch, adapt to belief, or choose first ideology, we receive a free tag. This is going to give us like 4 or 5 free tags throughout the game. It's quite strong, but I needed something that is going to give me some advantage early and will help me to keep up later. So this is pretty good. And yeah, I'm playing like a civ that feels quite strong because I would really like to try to win on this map. So I was looking for some advantages that I can get from saves and from the map. And I think the combination I came up with should give us at least some chance to win on this map. So that's the Solomonic Wisdom, Melciferi, really nothing special. It's actually quite similar, I think, to what it is in the normal save, so I'm not going to go through these guys. You probably want to see them in the game anyway, or not too much. They specialize in fighting in friendly territory, and at the point when they come to play, I don't think I want to fight in friendly territory, to be honest, or at least not too much. Especially around my capital. Then we have Stel. It's a bit more interesting because Stel is a replacement for a monument, and this is basically a monument that gives also +2 fate. So part of my plan is to get the religion with very specific beliefs, and I want to get them, or therefore I need to get the religion soon to make sure that I get the beliefs I want. It's still not guaranteed even with this, but I want to try. This at least gives me a chance. And also with that, this reduces the cost of acquiring new tiles, so our borders will grow faster. And border growth can sometimes be a problem on a map like this. You need your borders to grow a lot to cover a lot of territory, so people don't or can't, send settlers around you. It can start to be very messy with people settling all over the place. When your borders can go faster, it actually helps with that quite a bit. But of course, most important is the extra fate. That extra fate early is pretty damn good. So here we are, starting in the middle of Africa. When we just check the position, right here is the Red Sea. Like Suez Canal would be here. It's actually not in the game, but it would be here. Arabian Peninsula, Somalian Peninsula here. And what I want to do is head south to Lake Victoria. Since we are playing on the Earth map, the World Wonders, or yeah, World Wonders are on the fixed position, so you can tell where everything is, and I want to take advantage of that. It will give us quite a significant advantage over some saves, but there are other places, for example, Iberian Peninsula, where you have Rock of Gibraltar guaranteed, so like Portugal and Spain are starting next to World Wonder. Then in Americas, you can start next to Old Faithful, Grand Mesa, and Japan is starting next to World Wonder, so we won't be the only one starting next to World Wonder, though we might be the only one starting next to two of them, because quite close to Lake Victoria there is also Mount Kilimanjaro, and I want to take advantage of that as well. It's a pretty good start, but well, with the size of the map and the difficulty, I just wanted to get as much as possible from my start, uh, because my focus will be on the late game. I want to see how long I can stay in the game and have a realistic chance of winning. I haven't seen actually anyone using these settings trying to win on this on the map of this size on Deity difficulty. I've seen some people playing on a map that's as large as this, but no one on that difficulty, even on lower difficulties, many people got slaughtered. So we'll see what happens. Oh, and we have. I don't remember who this is, but one of the changes is that one save actually starts with free Pantheon, and they too get a springtime. So no big deal. I don't want that. So we can move on. For this video, I just want to start the capital so you can see all the starting conditions. Um, and once we are done with that, I think you'll have all the information you're going to need to decide if this will be worth following for you or not. And we'll start playing, really playing in the next part, where I'll try to explore. Hey, we have Zanzibar here, where we will really start playing and try to find some neighbors. Also, I will try to steal workers as soon as possible, and basically just uncover as much of the map as possible, at least of Africa, because it will take some time to even uncover whole Africa. Um, because we'll go with authority, so we have or we know where barbarians will be spawning, so we can take advantage of those as well. The more we reveal of the map, the more barbarians we should be able to get. Also, with Kilimanjaro, we are getting the altitude training, so I'm not going to use Scout. I'll just explore with Warrior and later with come on, with Bowman, or not Bowman, Archers. Just don't have time to build Scouts. So here we are. This is going to be the starting location. We're going to start right next to Kilimanjaro, so we can start getting the culture immediately. Return. This will give us pretty good border growth. The first border growth will be towards, of course, Lake Victoria, so then we can get the food and really start growing the capital and get ahead of other people, so we have some advantage before they get the unfair advantages in the late game. Tax, we can start with that. Maybe I'll talk a bit about what I'm planning to do. I'll start with trapping. First of all, we have forests basically everywhere around us, so I hope that we could maybe get some deer, and I also want to have archers available as soon as possible because of those barbarians. I'll try to farm a bit. Archers, of course, much easier to farm them with archers than with warriors. So that's one thing. After that, I'll go pottery and try to build Stonehenge. After that, calendar, build pyramids, and then I will try to build a great library. These are wonders that I would really like to get, and if I could sneak in statue of Zeus as well at some point, that would be amazing. Uh, with the community patch, it's actually where it building most wonders, um, because there are some bonuses you get only when you build them. It's not as it is in the normal save, where the best way how to get wonders is to just conquer them. Here it is worth building them, at least some of them. From Stonehenge, I would like to get the Faith and also free console, then could save me some time. Pyramids, we'll have to improve really a ton of tiles, so the extra speed is useful, but this also gives us a free settler, so that's another thing I would really like to get. Also great engineering points and extra culture, I'll definitely take that. Pyramids, thanks to the free settler, are much better than they are in normal save. Great library, well, free tag, and extra science from the building or from the library itself. Yeah, and free library on top of that, of course. Um, Overpowered as hell as usual. The statue of Zeus, I'd like that as well. Extra culture, extra faith, extra bit of extra strength against cities, all good stuff. But most importantly, free forge. That would be nice for the extra production, but that is pushing it really. When building the library, I mean the great library is going to be here. The great library is going to be pretty damn hard. For that, I'll try to steal some workers, chop some forests. It's harder to actually get to forest chopping here because it's on bronze working. I think it's normal safe. It's on mining. So yeah, it will be interesting. I'm really curious if I can get all of it. But we'll worry about that in the next part. This one is over. So I hope that you have all the information about what I'm planning. And if you're interested, then I'll see you in the next part. And until then, have a good time. Bye bye.